not. They're us.
Right.
And so if any being is out there,
law of correspondence, man.
yes.
This is also how we are getting to know ourselves on a multidimensional level in terms of celestial genetics.
Absolutely. And so if any being is out there that's trying to say, worship me, tell it to fuck right off.
Yeah, we don't bow to fucking anything. And things in terms of the higher force and making connection to that central sun soul spark ignition of the gates of true intelligence. This is the main factor in terms of the difference with those that really know what the fuck is going on, like you and I, versus those that fucking don't.
Okay, so something I just remembered that I wanted to elaborate on, the Alliance. It's the Galactic Federation of Free Worlds. This is something that's real and it's benevolent. And in the past, you've heard of the Galactic Federation of Light. This is just made up bullshit from Greys. Okay, Greys are tricksters. They're motherfuckers, man. They put this information out a long time ago to try to, discredit the actual real one. Back in 2016, 2017, the skies were full of fucking gray ships and reptilian ships, and I fucking had a lot of nasty stuff go on. Since then, a lot of that has been removed. A lot of the grays have been kicked off the planet, but they still have some implants in people, and they can control them from a distance remotely, or project their consciousness out that way. Things are being cleaned up. The skies are a lot different than they used to be, and what's left here is some of the really nasty dark shit, the ones that are fucking dug in.
What could you say is the worst thing you've ever had interface with, man?
The fallen Elohim, the fallen Anunnaki. This is, man, just thinking about it.
It's the fucking Watchers, dude. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. The original ones were benevolent, but the ones who fell, they are so fucking dark and powerful. Man, there's no heart energy, no consciousness except evil, wants to harvest and destroy, doesn't give a fuck about anything. I've never experienced anything like it.
Yeah, straight up face the fucking Watchers in context like I've shared on Black Earth Productions. You're talking about how empty and void these specific beings fucking are, and they do come in parasitized. And that's another thing that I also recognize about what the fuck is really going on. These factions aren't really the ones that we're up against. It's something more prevalent and hidden and occult than what's on the fucking surface in terms of what is being unveiled at this fucking point because of the procession of the grand cycle and where everything is culminating, bringing it back up onto the potential trajectory of the original timeline versus this AI parallel Earth timeline fucking trajectory, man. And all eyes are on the goddamn fucking planet. There's a lot of discrepancy in terms of factions because a lot of individuals that don't know the fucking difference assume that all of this goes back to the fallen Anu in context, and they're not the only motherfuckers that are on the goddamn fucking Earth, right?
Let me back up to the initial story. The ship flies across the sky, does this huge sweeping turn, comes around, pops out, and then I realize, okay, that's intelligently controlled. This huge blue flash went off, and then this ship comes ripping in and stops, and I can see it with my eyes. It's there in the third dimension. I can see it with my eyes, and all of a sudden my mind's eye lights up, and I can see who's on it. And there's three people and they look like us. You couldn't tell the difference. There's this woman in front and she's gorgeous. And then behind her is a woman and a man. There's three of them. They looked Nordic. The feeling that was coming off of it, so much love. I was crying from joy. It just fucking lit me up. And it was the weirdest thing ever because I remembered them. It's from before this life.
This is what I'm getting at in terms of what I'm bringing forward on Black Earth Productions, the difference between the malevolence, like you explained, versus the true benevolence. And I know that the true benevolence exists because I have also had interface with them. And I got the same thing, that they're not allowed to directly interfere. It is as if they are looking to us, even as Odin came to me in context to having an interface. And he said, tell the people the fucking truth, that we are waiting for humanity caught within this dark timeline cycle bullshit. And in terms of certain sagas that I've looked into, we have been through 3 major fucking Ragnaroks already. And in terms of the procession where we're at, everything's back up for review now. And we're either going to cross this fucking threshold into the new Aeon, knowing the difference, or get pulled into this parallel AI timeline bullshit that I know for a goddamn fact the dark factions are pushing the fuck forward. And there were trade deals that took place between the Omicron Draconian and the Odetacron Reptilian with the crystalline Syrian bees, who are traitors to the ancients, the Magog Rail Shaman. And this is who the fuck we are on ground level, going through this process of learning to remember who the fuck we are. It was a risk coming in here in terms of incarnation. Would you not agree with that?
Oh, absolutely, because you can get stuck in a karmic loop. You forget who you are. And when you come in with a mission, you're targeted. I have full memory of many past lives, many lives battling these motherfuckers. The things that I've experienced have been soul fragmenting. It's been a fucking mission to clean up the damage that has been done from this cosmic war that's been raging forever.
This is real shaman shit that we're talking about right here. We have actual fucking evidence. Not only that, but actual experience. Go ahead.
I went into the central sun, and when I crossed that threshold, leaving this 12-dimensional universe into the central sun, it's into the 13th dimension, then it goes 14, 15. As soon as you cross, it's like the main hub. There's other universes out there that have different mathematical constructs. It's a 12-dimensional overlapping construct. And I learned so much. As soon as you're there, you're in unity. Even in this universe, in the 12-dimensional scale, once you get into the 5th dimension, you have this overwhelming sense of unity. But duality is still present. It's overlapping. And that continues as you go up and up and up in dimensional layers. It just gets less and less and less. But once you cross that threshold into the central sun, the darkness doesn't exist and everything is just pure.
Would you say that that is the point where an individual could potentially experience that absolute powerful trajectory of being at a place of at-one-ment with their core intelligence and the higher force?
That experience of going into the central sun 10 years ago, I'm still integrating it. It blows everything else out of the water. All this ET contact, all this stuff, it doesn't account to anything. That one experience, I remembered who I was. I was shown who I was. My cosmic intelligence was returned. My DNA was reviewed and assembled back together correctly. That's my true origin. It's the golden iridescent realm. And I remember you from that side too.
How do you mean, man?
It's just a remembering, you know, things that other people don't know, and it's rang true over the years. You've proven yourself to me that you know this stuff that other people don't. You've been right about things many, many times.
I make sure that the things that I disclose, especially public on the platform here, I can back up 100%, and we can back all of this up. So again, if people want a true sense of disclosure, this is where the fuck you're going to get it today. You're not going to get it out there in the mainstream media. You're not going to get it in fucking academia, and you're definitely not going to get it from the goddamn fucking New Age movement.
Yeah, the New Age is infiltrated.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of this New Age stuff was thought up in Stanford think tanks, and it's put together to try to get people to lower their guard, and so they can get tied into this stuff. It's got some truth in it, and it's sprinkled with a bunch of bullshit. They're master deceivers. They're master liars. One of the things that I've seen that's very common is they'll come and try to tell someone that they're the reincarnation of Jesus or Mary Magdalene to see where they'll go with it. There's this whole love bite thing. They'll set people up with the wrong person. And I've experienced
that too, man. Right.
Yep.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
They'll set someone up with the wrong person, and there'll be all these weird external influences and weird things that show up, and you'll take notice of them, but you'll be like, nah, it's cool or whatever. And then as time goes on, it all comes crashing down because they want to lower your frequency. They want to get at your heart. If they can get you in a vulnerable, low frequency, that gives them an in. It is all about frequency to a certain extent. It's intention. Frequency, they want to get at your heart. If they can get you in a vulnerable, low frequency, that gives them an in. It is all about frequency to a certain extent. It's intention, it's frequency, it's vibration. And if you're vibrating super high and you know who you are and you have solid boundaries and you're sovereign and you're in the heart space, you know, this lower shit just misses you and it can't hook in. But if you have all this wounds and all this low vibration, that you're easily...
You're fucking fodder, dude.
Yeah, you're done.
For the whole fucking system on a multidimensional level. The Earth is a seed planet. It's a high commodity in our known universe in Midgard. And that's why it's all fucking happening here. Ascension happens here, but also the great war of fucking aeons in terms of what we have been facing and also the ancestors in context to the most recent cataclysm.
Yeah, absolutely. What happens here affects everything else. And there's so many eyes on what's happening here. It's crazy. They're waiting to see what happens, waiting to see what we do. And this whole thing's a game. It's a game because there's rules to it.
What's the number one rule of this game?
The original goes with cosmic organic law. It doesn't break universal law. But the ones who fell sidestep that